Hello. Hi everyone. It's Jenny, and welcome back to my channel. And I'm here to do my first currently reading video. Because I'm reading too many books at the moment and it's really stressed me out, so I want to try and finish them. I didn't do a proper TBR this month because I just felt like that was ridiculous because I'm reading 9 books at the moment. 9! And I like to be reading 3 or 4. Yeah. I think because of my low attention span, I kept wanting to start books, but I just didn't finish them. And that is bad. So this is a currently reading video to hold myself accountable. And also, plus a few other really short books that I would like to read, but if I don't, it's really no biggie. It's like the most informal TBR there ever was, at least on my channel. The first book, we're going in size order, because that seems sensible, is Grimm's Fairy Tales. And I've been halfway through this for flipping ages, and I think partly because some of the stories are exactly the same, so it's not always that engaging to read, but also some of them are a wild ride, honestly. Like, some of them there'll be 3 random objects, like a straw and a bean and a bird, and they'll all die somehow in the space of like a page. It's crazy. But I need to get back to reading this. I kept saying, I want to read before bed, but I am actually so bad at switching off. I mean, hand on heart, I'm sure lots of us are really bad at not looking at social media before we go to bed and when we get up in the morning as well. And I need to make this a habit that I actually just read something that isn't stressful and isn't going to make me think too much, and Fairy Tales is that. So it won't actually take me long to read if I just flip and read it, it's got loads of pictures. I mean, look, pictures. Yay! So hopefully by the end of this month I'll at least be, a bit further through this. And then my nemesis of a book. It's not funny. It's not funny I haven't finished this. This is ridiculous. I'm over halfway now. I mean, that shouldn't be an exciting point. And look, I'm tabbing things. I just decided to start doing that this far in, which is really useful. Because I've annotated the first 75 pages, and then the rest is, and then there's a gap, and then I started tabbing because, I don't know, I'm just scatty as hell. But this is, as depressing as I thought it was going to be right now, so I'm very unmotivated to read this, and I'm just genuinely having a PhD panic, but we're gonna be quiet about that now, Joey. Yes. I'll be okay, don't worry. This is a book that I'll be flipping happy when I finish, let me tell you that. But I will finish it. Just 175 pages to go, and I'm done. And then a book. There's a lot of classes in this. You can see which part of this I've read. That part is read. But because it's 3 novellas, and I only had to read the 3rd one because that was the part that was relevant to my PhD. I've not read the other 2. And also, I love George Eliot. I do. I love her so much. But this is the first book. This is definitely her weakest writing, and there are flashes of brilliance where you can see that the great books like Middlemarch and Middle of the Floss are coming, but this, she's not there yet. So it's just really slow reading, and also it's kind of deliberately about a provincial town that's very slow. It's her sort of saying, look at these characters that are very important, and that's not super inspiring to read right now, but I guess it's gentle, so whatever. But I do actually want to read the other 2 novellas, especially because I've read the longest one, so it seems silly not to read the other ones, but it genuinely took me that's where that bookmark went. Sorry, it took me 3 minutes to read a page, insanely slow reading speed, so whatever. And then a book that I was really enjoying reading a lot of, and just stopped for no good reason, The Good Immigrant, which is 21 different authors. Really, really enjoying it, really relevant to now. It's nice because I'm getting a lot of insight because it's UK focused into different communities, minority communities. It's not just about black writers. And I just need to read it. The essays are short as well. I don't know why I haven't carried on. I know I just started the last essay, and then I was tired, then I went to bed, and just haven't picked it up since. So I'm sure I will be finished this one by the end of the month. Here's hope. And then, listen, I'm not taking the cover of this. It's just a faff. Wait, that's the right way around. This is The Old Woman by Gissing, because I was reading this and I got confused when I was reading the other one, because they're both by Gissing, and there was like an actual read along of this, and I got 100 pages in, yes, and I stopped. So that's bad, but it's not relevant to my PhD, so I can't justify this. So once I finish that Gissing, then I'll get to this one. So that should be motivation, because I am actually enjoying this one, and it's not as depressing yet. So it's feminist, and I'm enjoying that, and it's about women. I like this, like women who aren't going to get married, or like, are they going to get married? And it looking at marriage in Victorian era in like such an original way, and I love that, but I just don't have time for you now, sorry. Oh my gosh, the next book. Okay, listen. I was like all optimistic last month saying, I'm just going to read 21 pages a day, and then I'll finish this. And then it got kind of like halfway through the month, and I was like, oh, I only have to read like 50 pages a day. That's fine, 55 pages a day. I can still do this. So I read my first quote, I read 56 pages. And then I didn't read any more, because this I think is because I find this intimidating because it's long, and it just takes a lot of concentration. Like, Russian names, man. They're a thing. Oh my goodness. It's just not even the fact that they will always say like the full, not the full name, but they'll say like the full name is Zen or something. They'll often say two names for a character, but they'll also have like another name for that character, and they'll refer to them with both different names in the same sentence. So you have to really pay attention, and also I have to keep looking at the notes because I don't know anything historical about Russia in this period, so that's really helpful. But it's just long, it's long and it's slow, and the beginning is really slow, and the protagonist, what is his name? Oh god, Raskolnikov is talking to this dude in a pub, it's not a pub, but in a drinking den for flipping ages, and this dude is giving him like his life history. And I'm like, you better come back into the story, because if you're just a random drunk person, you don't come back into it. What was the point of this? But it's a really long scene, and I'm like, is all of this really relevant? I know I haven't read it to find out yet, but it really discouraged me, and I'm sure it will get better. But I just think, the Brothers Karamazov is like 200 pages longer than this. How much waffle is it going to be before that book gets good? I don't know. But I will read this. I do want to read this. Maybe I should try Anna Karenina first instead, I don't know, maybe this is just a bit dark now, but I'll again, really not expecting to have read this by the end of the month, oh hell no, but I would like to be a little bit further along, even if it is just to be on page 100, that will be nice. I'm going to say that's a reasonable goal. And then, it's like very different, this is Wordsworth poetry. I've only got like 40 pages left, look. It's silly. Again, I don't know why I stopped reading it. I just kept putting things down, and it's lovely. It's quite relaxing. I like to read it aloud, you know, like, because I wish I could write poetry like this, and I can. I have some very, very bad poetry from when I was young. Shocking. No one, the world doesn't want to hear or see that. I'll just read Wordsworth instead. And it's, you know, it's nature poetry. It is nice, but I just haven't. But the last book is probably the one I'm enjoying the most, and it's Girl, Woman, Other. I took the cover off because I'm precious about things like that. And does it have my end papers? No, it doesn't, just bold end papers. Oh well. This is amazing. This is like everything I wanted this book to be and more. I'll be honest, was not sure if I was going to get on with this book at all at the beginning, because I didn't realise how it's written. It's very fluid. It's not structured at all like a normal novel. It doesn't really have paragraphs in the same way. It doesn't have end stops. It doesn't have capitalisation at the beginning of sentences. It doesn't have much punctuation in general, actually. And I have a history of not getting on with books like that, because unless they really add something, I just think, what was the point? And it annoys me. Sometimes I find it really hard to understand who's talking without quotation marks, and I didn't find that at all, actually. 5 pages in, I was sold, and I've read the first 3 and a little bit of the 12 women, and it's just so clever, and I'm really excited to see how everyone's linked, because the first 3 are quite obviously linked. You have mother and daughter and then friend of the mother, but now we're on to a different set of women in a different place. Really, really fascinating to see how she ties it all together, and it's just brilliant. And I haven't read Hamnet yet, but I've got to say this is going to have stiff competition for me to not feel like this should win the Women's Prize, because I just think this is so, so special. and it's nice because it's really made the rest of her work get a moment, and I feel like her other work's been reissued, and that's exciting. So yeah, but again, I read basically all of this, like a quarter of the book, in one sitting, and then just have picked it up again. So there's a theme here, can you see? So I really want to finish at least 4 of these books. I should also say I am listening to Notes from an Apocalypse by, oh no, what's his name? Mark O'Connell, I want to say. And I've literally just started that. So that's the 9th thing I'm reading. Yeah, so it's a lot. And if you read this many things at once and you're fine with that, like, please tell me how you cope, because this is really stressing me out, having such a big pile of like currently reading books on my nightstand. I always had piles of books everywhere in my bedroom, but I really want my currently reading pile to be much smaller. So yeah, hopefully I can focus a bit, but because I just like to put more pressure on myself, there are some really short books I really would like to read a couple of. So I have 3 Peckham Mini Moderns, which is the last one I've not read out of the set of 50, and they're actually quite diverse. You have 4 Russian short stories, Italo Calvino, Distant to the Moon. Is he Spanish or Italian? I don't know. And Albert Camus, I'm sure it's not how you say his name. I'm just like, when in doubt, commit to a French accent. Create Dangerously. So this is non-fiction, then you have some short stories, and all translated, so that's exciting. Maybe this will be like a nice lighter Russian thing for me to read as opposed to Crime and Punishment. Maybe I just need to read Notes from Underground first, and that will sort of settle me, I don't know. But I would love to read these, because that's the one reading goal I didn't complete last year, was to finish reading all of these, so that would be nice. Then I have Cousin Philip, which is a novella by Elizabeth Gaskell. My dad read this to me years ago, and I do remember the ending, but it's just really sweet, and it's short, and it's just nice to read Gaskell to like keep me in the mood. My Gaskell challenge, and I haven't read it myself, so that would be nice to read too. And then I have a poetry collection, which is The Perseverance by Raymond Antrobus, which won lots of awards. He's a deaf biracial poet. I think he's of Jamaican and English descent from his parentage, and I saw him perform like one of his poems, and it's wonderful to see how he performs it with sign language as well. What was that? Sign language, yeah. But I think this is about his experience of being deaf, but also about like histories and family relations, so I'm just interested to read a debut collection, because I'm definitely trying to diversify my reading, but especially in poetry I think there's a lot of great non-white poets. And then, speaking of poetry actually, we have Homie, which is the Eugene Smith collection, because I love Don't Call Us Dead, his previous collection, and this I think was inspired by the loss of a close friend, so it's partly about friendship, and it was definitely about like queerness and blackness, and living with that kind of threat of violence in America. He writes about that so well, and I love watching him perform his poetry as well. If you've never seen him, like, YouTube it, it's amazing. And you really get a sense of the rhythm as well that he creates, and how deliberately he crafts his poetry. I mean, obviously every poet deliberately crafts their poetry, that's a stupid thing to say, but you know what I mean. And I'm really excited to see how his themes are kind of continued in this, but also developed. So yeah, and then last but not least, we have another library book, because I still have like 15 to read out of 18 that I got out before lockdown, but my library isn't going to open anytime soon, sadly, so I guess I've got a while. But this is Rainbow in the Cloud, The Wit and Wisdom of Maya Angelou, because if there was ever a time that we needed that, it is now. Amen. And I have read I Know Where the Caged Bird Sings, I have read the poetry collection And Still I Rise. I've loved both those things, but sometimes it's just quite nice to have a collection of quotes and just feel reassured. Just sometimes reading words that are well written is enough to make me feel a little bit better about my place in the world. And yeah, I'll see how many of those I also get through, but all of these are books that I could read in a couple of hours, if not an hour. I mean, this is, part pictures as well, so no pressure with that small pile. But yeah, I think I'll definitely finish going on the Wordsworth, Good Immigrant, and Gissing. Oh my gosh, at least the Netherworld, not the Woman as well, and we'll see how I get on with the other ones basically. So yeah, hopefully I can say next month that my currently reading pile will be significantly smaller, but we'll see, because I'm already making plans of what my Jane Austen July TBR is going to be, and I'm pumped for that. So yeah, let me know what you're currently reading, slash have you loved The Woman Other as much as I am currently. Yeah, I would love to hear from you. And I'll stop rambling now. I will see you soon for Bookish Shenanigans. Bye!